Hello everyone, Chad here, Back to the Future podcast. In this video, I'm going to show you the steps that I take in preparing cards for a submission. And in particular for these cards, we're going to be sending them off to PSA for the Silver Club membership economy grading, which is a $50 service, maximum declared value, $999, and 90 total day turnaround time. I have two cards that I'm submitting here that you can see, which are the Aaron Rodgers 2012 Prizm Silver and the Peyton Manning 2012 Prizm Silver. Tim has three cards that he has already prepared. We'll go over those at the end. As we go through these steps, what I would like from you is in the comments below, please let me know what steps you take in order to prepare your cards. Did you learn anything new, or am I missing out on something? And additionally, I'd like you to leave your thoughts on what grades these cards are going to receive. And then when they come back, we'll do a reveal and we can all kind of guess along. So first thing I'm going to do, we will pop these cards out of the penny sleeves. We'll start with the Peyton Manning. Some people like to use gloves for this. I've never been a glove guy, but go about this as you will. I like to have a pattern that I go through and ultimately to make sure that I'm not missing any steps as I go. So ultimately I start with corners and look at the corners and make sure that they are not soft, they are not dented, that they are nice and crisp, and each of these corners are. The 2012 Prizm cards have a nice, thicker stock. They work very well. Corners look very good. Then I go through the edges, make sure there's no flaking, the edges are sharp, cards aren't bent or torn. And here again, everything on these looks really nice. Nice sharp edges. From there, I will take a cloth and use one of these very soft cloths. They're not going to scratch your cards. I'll give it an initial wipe just to make sure that no dust, no particles, or anything that shouldn't be on the card is on there. So we'll go ahead and give that a wipe. I then take my illuminated magnifying glass. You can get this for 20 bucks on Amazon. And I'll start in the top right corner and simply go through and make sure that there are no imperfections or scratches or particular little dust that can be wiped off. Now on this card, and you can see it here, right where the glare is, on the silver part of the card, there are three small surface indentations. Right here. Now those are going to cause us some trouble. Usually you can get away with one of those and still have a chance at a 10, but if there's multiple, this will almost certainly knock us down to at least a 9, without a doubt. Going through the rest of the card, I'm not seeing scratches. There's another perhaps surface imperfection there in the background silver part of the card, right where the white glare is. You can see it on this card just as a slight darkening here. So I think that's going to mark us down a bit. Go through the rest of the card. Again, no scratches, no imperfections. Turn it over. In my experience of grading cards, the back seems to matter perhaps a little bit less for the very small imperfections. Print lines, I have not noticed have made a big deal on the back of the card. I have certainly had a number of cards with significant print lines that have still received 10s. Now going right through Peyton's face mask, horizontally, there is a print line that I didn't notice the two other times that I reviewed this, and this is my third time shooting this video. So there is a print line there. Typically, if that was on the front, it would be an issue. So that's what I see for the card. We're going to go ahead and give it a look at centering here in just a moment. We'll give it one more wipe to make sure that I didn't get any fingerprints on there. But again, for me, the biggest issues are those three surface imperfections up top. That's definitely going to be an issue. To me, I don't see this card being a PSA 10. Let's go to centering and see where we stand there. So this Grade Master tool, I really like it. You can find this on eBay and just about everywhere on social media. And what you do is you line up the corners of the card with the 90-degree edges here. And then you pick a part of the card where you can find a border, line up the associated number, then you do it on both sides. And then the centering tool, you find the two numbers that correspond with what you were looking at. And if it's in bold, it's still considered centering that's better than 60, 40, or better. And it's my belief that as long as you get it within one of those bolded ranges, that you're still in the running for a perfect PSA 10. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Peyton and see where we stand with this. Get our card centered on the edges. And what I'm going to use, given that this is not a perfect vertical straight line, I'm going to use the edge here and here to try and match up for our centering. And I would encourage you to do the same. So if we look at this, on my left side, I see just about that 3 lining up on the left, and then on my right is just about a 2. So I see a 2 to 3 ratio. We go to our centering tool, 2 to 3 ratio, still within 60-40, so we should still be in good shape there. So overall, with this Peyton, we have edges that are good, corners that are good, centering that is good, and 3 surface imperfections. I think that based off of my previous submissions, this should get a 9. I'm going to expect an 8 just because on some of the more recent submissions that I did later last year, it just seems like the grading was more difficult. Now, that's completely anecdotal. I have no evidence to back that up. I'm going to guess an 8. Be perfectly happy with a 9. I do not expect a 10. So that's my process there. Let's go ahead and go to the Rodgers and let's see. Yeah, we'll go through the same process here. And I can tell you guys, I'll go through this one quickly, still do the same thing. Corners, edges. Everything here looks good to me. Turn it around. Same thing, corners and edges. Sorry for the focus. Corners and edges. Everything there looks good. Give it a wipe, get off any particle. And we'll see if we can buff anything out. Start at the top and I simply scan. Right to left. Now right there, I see a print line. Doesn't look like a scratch, it looks like a print line. On the front surface, you can still get away with those and have it be a 10, but it's got to be subtle. And for me, that one's pretty subtle. Still looking. And there might be some slight scratches there. Boy, oh boy, is that subtle. And there is a surface imperfection here as well. As I try and move this closer to you, but still have it be in focus, that's the tricky part. There are some issues right through here with both the surface indentation and with perhaps a very slight scratch. There you can see it. So I'm worried about that. That's going to knock us down. Perhaps another surface blemish just above his arm. Let's see if it comes off. That one did. Good. Little imperfection there, just lateral, left lateral to the border. Let's see if that comes off. That one does not. And there's an indentation there as well. So a couple of issues there. We've got an issue up top. Looking at the back, we'll give it one wipe, but nothing obvious that was there on the back. Let's go ahead and throw this in. We'll take a look at the centering. You want to make sure you give them a nice penny sleeve. I don't know that presentation matters in your final grade, but I can certainly tell you that if I looked at a penny sleeve that had some paw marks all over it, I wouldn't be impressed. Let's go ahead and center this. I see a firm 3 on the left and just about a 2 on the right, very similar to what that Peyton was. We go back and look at our tool, 2 and 3, still gets a 60-40. So we should still be in good shape there. So centering's okay, edges are okay, corners are okay. But again, there's a few surface issues here. I'm going to guess this card's an 8. That's going to be my guess. So I'll go with, boy, I think the Peyton will get 1 grade higher than the Rodgers. And really at this point, it's a crapshoot. I guess if I put my foot down, we'll go 8 on the Rodgers, 9 on the Manning. That's my final guess. That's the process that I go through. Let me know what you guys think. Those will go in a card saver, and then we'll get those shipped off to PSA. Now, Tim's cards, he already has them prepared nicely, so we're not going to take them out. And I will tell you that on these die cut cards, so this is a 97, 98 UD3 MJ set of 3. So it'll look like that. Those cards are going to look really nice in slabs. But when we look at these edges actually look really good for cards that are die cut. I'm quite impressed with that Tim was able to find these. So that card to me looks quite good. This one, there might be some edge wear right up top there. You can see it just barely flaking. Just a touch. That corner's a little soft. And this one looks quite good too. So I tell you what, guys, I'm really impressed with Tim's cards. I'm going to say nothing lower than an 8 for sure is going to be my guess. I think all of these should be 9s or 10s. I really do. I didn't take them out and go through the same process, but as long as the surfaces are good, that's my thoughts there. All right, guys. So that's it. 2 tools that you won't need that I forgot to show you at the start. You can go ahead and put these guys away. You don't need those. I was going to show that as a joke to start. All right, guys. So that's it. Please, in the comments below, let me know what your process is. Let me know how it's different from mine. Let me know what you think the grades of all of these are, and we'll see what happens when these come back. We'll do a review video. If you haven't done so already, please go listen to our podcast, Back to the Future podcast. You can find them wherever you're listening to your podcast source. Check out our webpage for all things, including our sponsor discounts, our videos, our podcast. That's at pttfpodcast.com. For Ricky and Tim, this is Chad. Everyone stay safe. Take care.